Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Gaur Hari Pramanande. So we recite the prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana So we have scripture course, that is a collection. We have how many Purana? Sorry, how many Vedas? Four. How many Puranas? Upanishads? Mostly 108. Itihas? How many? 2. Name those 2. Mahabharata and Ramayana. Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata. So today we're going to discuss a little bit of Bhagavad Gita structure, everything, in a very simple, very, well, you can say layman's way of understanding Bhagavad Gita, and that's a little bit of effort from my side. So, how many chapters do we have in Bhagavad Gita? 18. Srila Prabhupada divides these 18 chapters in how many parts? 3 parts. What are those 3 parts? You can read. Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. So, let us look at first Karma Yoga. Right? That's how it starts. What is the setting scene? Kurukshetra. Because we all know Bhagavad Gita. Everybody here has heard about Bhagavad Gita. They have read Bhagavad Gita. So you all know that the first thing is the setting of the scene where 2 armies are set, Kaurava and Pandava Paksh. And what is happening? So the Arjuna is asking Krishna to bring the Rath in the middle. And he is observing the army. What happens to Arjuna? Chapter 1. Right? Arjuna becomes overwhelmed with the what? Anger? Compassion. Emotions come over. Anything else? Yes. So Arjuna has been overwhelmed with the compassion, and he gives various reasons that I don't want to fight. Right? He gives. Anybody remembers? What are those 5 reasons or X number of reasons? I just gave out 5 number, but you mentioned. Go ahead. Say whichever one you feel could be the reason. Yeah. Next. Next. Huh? Lot of sinful activities, right? Next. His family. Next. Indecision. You cannot decide, you can perplexed. Imagine great warriors standing, and those great warriors are your relatives also. So, seeing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna becomes overwhelmed with compassion for his relatives and gives various reasons that I do not want to fight. And then, what does Krishna do? Responding to that, Krishna says that Krishna imparts, these are the souls. He gives the knowledge of soul to Krishna. He gives him Atma Gyan. Okay? And he explains that performing one's prescribed work brings happiness, whether it is in the victory or defeat. Sakama karma, perform the action that is prescribed to you. Krishna then recommends that performing the duty with detachment. You perform the action, that is your karma. But if you perform with detachment, what is it called? Nishkam karma. Right? You are not attached to the fruit of that work. So when you detach yourself from the fruit of work and you perform that action, it is called Nishkam karma. And what does it give? It gives you knowledge. And when the knowledge is steady, you become Stita Prajnata. Gives you Stita Prajnata. It's very important for a human being. These concepts are really, it seems abstract, but when put in practice, when the time comes and you put those concepts in practice, it really empowers you a lot. Imagine yourself in the middle of a lot of commotion, and then you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do, but you do it with detachment, and then offering that result to Krishna. That's very powerful. Detachment itself is very powerful. Okay, so Krishna explains that to Arjuna. Arjuna is again confused. Next chapter, he says, Krishna, what are you saying? Is action better, or should I be renunciating? Should I just give up, or is action better? Then Krishna clarifies, Nishkam Karma Yoga, which is detached performing of the action, is always preferable compared to premature renunciation, wherein you are not really realized from within, but you prematurely doing anything is really a little bit harmful if you don't know what you're doing, right? So Krishna advises that Krishna says, even if Arjuna were qualified for renunciation, he should still perform Nishkam Karma Yoga to set the right example. See, so apt. And Krishna just doesn't say, he performs it. Is there any action that Krishna needs to do for himself? No. But do you see, when he comes, he performs so many actions. He goes to Gurukul, he performs, he learns, he gives the charity, he goes out for alms, collecting for the alms in Gurukul, right? Does he need to do that? No, he has everything, but he still does it. Why? Why does he do it? The answer is right here, I just said. Why would Krishna do it? To set the right example. So then, again, Arjuna says, Krishna teaches transcendental knowledge about himself, his divine descent, like he's coming down. his reciprocation with his devotees, and many more things. Just by understanding Krishna's coming, going, his interaction, everything, if somebody learns that, chapter 4 is that, if somebody understands Krishna's coming, going, his reciprocation with devotees, the creation, by just understanding that, people will be liberated. They will not be coming back and forth in this material world. A karma yogi or a detached worker, although engaged in action, does not incur reaction. All forms of sacrificial work culminate in the knowledge, that is, jnana, which enables, remember, knowledge enables you to renounce. Okay? All these things, if you have knowledge, you will be satisfied. And if you are satisfied, you will not be in anxiety. Okay? And therefore, you will not commit so many unlawful things, unwanted things. So, knowledge is important. Jnana is important. And jnana enables you to renounce your actions. Then, Arjuna again becomes confused a little bit. And he says, so Krishna, you are emphasizing on karma yoga, but you're also saying jnana yoga. What to do? So then Krishna further he clarifies. He says these two are not contradicting each other. They are complementing each other. Contradicting means if you do one thing, the other thing is not relevant. If you do other thing, the one thing is not relevant. But Krishna says no. They both are complementing each other. You do your karma in the knowledge and detachment. That way, karma yoga is easier than jnana yoga. Because you are engaged. In karma yoga, you are engaged. And because you work, you will become knowledgeable and you are steady, and therefore you also have jnana. So, Krishna briefly mentions Ashtanga yoga in chapter 5. And he mentions the supremacy of Ashtanga yoga. You know Ashtanga yoga, right? Dharana, Dhyan, all these eightfold yogas. He says that Ashtanga yoga is important. But he also mentions invariably that Bhakti yoga is superior to Ashtanga yoga. Yes. So that brings to chapter number 6. Control of our mind. Practice and detachment is essential in yoga. It's very important. So, Krishna elaborates on Dhyana yoga or Ashtanga yoga, which progresses through two stages. Yoga Ruksha, that is the beginning, and Yoga Rudra, which is the end. The practice of Ashtanga yoga aims to attain the realization of Super Soul. Controlling the mind through practice and detachment is essential in yoga. So if you just practice the exercises, stretching exercises in the name of yoga, which is Ashtanga yoga, which is also bona fide, it's not that. But you only do first half, second half, and you don't completely take the whole picture, it will not give the complete result, or it will not lead you to the full potential that it could. So, Arjuna, ultimately, Krishna says to Arjuna, that ultimately the topmost is Bhakti Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga is there, but Bhakti Yoga is also better. Is not also. Bhakti Yoga is better. So, that concludes the first section, Karma Yoga, of Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters. Out of 18, first section is over. That leads us to the second section, and that is only two people. I showed the whole chart. What is the next section? Bhakti Yoga. There you go. Hari Bol. Okay, Bhakti Yoga. So, how many people like Bhakti? I'm just doing this as an exercise. How many people like Bhakti Yoga? Raise your hand. Those who didn't raise their hand, no, what are we doing here? Bhakti Yoga. Yeah, this is a place of worship. This is a place of performing Bhakti. Then, so many ways we'll go through all this. So, Bhakti Yoga is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. These are the middle 6 chapters. And Lord puts the best portion of Bhagavad Gita, the best important message, right in the middle of the Bhagavad Gita. 6 chapters of Bhakti Yoga are right in the middle. So what does it say? What does it entail when it says Bhakti Yoga? Give knowledge of absolute Krishna, material and spiritual energy, and the supremacy of devotional service to know Him fully. Krishna says submissively hearing is the primary aspect of bhakti. Revealing knowledge about Krishna's energy and all its pervasiveness. So when you hear about Krishna, Krishna's energy and all pervasiveness, basically Krishna's prowess. You hear about Krishna, that's how you understand, right? We cannot see him. Right now we can see, but in ancient there was no movie. How would we understand and relish Krishna? By listening. So Krishna says submissively hearing. What are Krishna's inferior energies? Inferior energies are water, air, earth, and so on. Right? And what is the superior energy of Krishna? Jiva. Correct. Oh my God. Very good. Yes. Guess it right. These jivas are the superior energy of Krishna. But these jivas are prone to conditioning. Wherever they are in the whatever mode of nature they are, they will react accordingly. Right? And therefore, the jiva needs to surrender to Supreme Lord. It's very important. That's why Krishna mentions in chapter 6. Chapter 7. That it's important for jiva to be surrendering to Krishna and listening about Krishna. Some people fail to perform bhakti. Why? Because maybe there is some impurity in their heart. Maybe they are interested in worshipping the demigods. Maybe they are interested in only seeing that Krishna is some person with the little bit of magic. They are not really interested. Or they can perform bhakti maybe because they are intensely seeking wealth. Can be performing bhakti and constantly thinking about how to accumulate, how to do this, how to do that. Or they are in total distress. A man who is completely, thoroughly, man, woman, one person who is completely, thoroughly engrossed in this kind of distressful situation cannot relish, cannot be performing convincing bhakti. Or somebody who is just out there for knowledge. And I have the difference. Acquiring knowledge to serve Krishna and acquiring knowledge so that they can just do flowery language. All of you have come across some personalities like that, right? Where it's just for words, it's not really, it's just lived, not the heartbeat. So those kind of people are hard to, for them it's hard to take up. Chapter 8, Attaining the Supreme, Krishna says that during their duties, when somebody is performing devotional service, during their duty, if they remember while performing the duty, if they remember Krishna, at the end of lifetime, by the time of death, they will regain the memory of Krishna. At that time, they will be able to remember Krishna. And then, in that moment, if they leave their body, they will never come back to this earth again. So, the importance of listening and remembering Krishna while doing all the services. Chapter 9, Krishna mentions that pure bhakti is the king of knowledge. Even simple offerings such as patram, all these simple offerings are offered to Krishna lovingly. Right? It pleases Krishna. Ultimately, bhakti accommodates everyone. Whoever there is, wherever, whichever walk of life, bhakti is for everyone. Bhakti is independent of everything. You can perform anywhere, anytime, any place. In your mind also you can perform, you can perform with your hands also, you can perform with your lips also. So, anytime. From beginner to advanced practitioner, making it most accessible for path for Krishna. Chapter 10. This contents of the chapter is a very nice chapter. It contains 4 verses, which are Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita. They highlight the essence that Krishna is the source of everything, and those who worship him ultimately are the happiest. It also outlines how all the various great manifestations seen in this world come from him. Right? All the comparisons are given that out of this I am this, out of this I am this. So it's a beautiful chapter. Chapter 11, he shows the universal form. Krishna displays his all-encompassing universal form plan. Chapter 12, which is devotional service, Krishna outlines the qualities of pure devotee, emphasizing that Bhakti Yoga is the most accessible and pleasing path to him. So culminating the whole 6 chapters into one line, that Bhakti Yoga is the most pleasing form of yoga for Krishna. And he gives, this is how you perform, this is who I am, all the details, and clearly makes I am to be worshipped. That brings us to the last yoga mentioned, last set of chapters mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. What are they? They are called, together they are called Jnana Yoga. Oh. Jnana Yoga involves understanding the characteristics of living entity. Who are those? It's us. We are the living entities. To understand the characteristics, material nature, Prakriti, and the Supreme Lord. These concepts introduced in the these are all concepts introduced in the first 6 chapters, but they are now elaborated in the last 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So overall, Bhagavad Gita discusses 5 subject matters. 3 of them are listed here. Which are listed here? Jiva, Prakriti, Ishvara. Which are the other 2 remaining? Kal and Karma. So out of all total 5 elements, the last 6 chapter, you have 6 elements. Thank you so much. Really, you have very nice knowledge about it. Thank you. And so, let's briefly look at them very quickly. So, chapter 13, Krishna says, the body is a field, kshetra, right? And soul and super soul are kshetrajna. What are they? They are knowers. Soul knows and Krishna knows. These are the knowers. Kshetrajna, knowledge. Knowledge consists of qualities such as humility and tolerance. If you have knowledge, you cultivate humility, and you have to cultivate tolerance. It's very important. The objects of knowledge are the soul and super soul. By seeing through the eyes of knowledge, Jnana Chakshu, one properly understands the Jiva, Prakriti, and the Lord. Simple. Understand, have knowledge. With knowledge, you'll be able to understand Lord's Prakriti, Jiva, and Supreme Lord. In the last 2 more chapters, 14 and 15, Krishna discusses how 3 material modes bind the jiva and how unalloyed bhakti enables transcendence to those modes, leading to liberation. So how 3 modes affect the jivas, that soul like us, and how we can transcend these material modes. So now quickly, what are the 3 modes of material nature? Sattva gun, Rajagun, and Tamagun, right? So, do you accept that jiva, like the souls, they come under this kind of influence of three modes of material nature? Yes. And out of three modes of material nature, which one is best? Sattva. So staying in Sattva helps in bhakti. The final chapters summarize Gita's the importance of surrendering to Krishna, performing one's duties according to Varnashram, and cultivating bhakti as the ultimate goal. Okay? Krishna says there are different varnas, there are 4 varnas. Okay? What are those 4 varnas? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. So in any of those forms you can perform bhakti. In Kali Yuga, normally how's everybody described as Shudra? Usually described as Shudra, right? So in any form of varna you are, we are able to perform bhakti. That's the special concession of Kali Yuga. So that brings us to the end of 3 yogas that are mentioned, 3 sections of yogas mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Out of which yoga is the best? We learned Bhakti yoga is the best. And who are we? We are the jivas. What are we supposed to do? Surrender to Supreme Lord. And in every chapter, Krishna repeatedly outlines why bhakti element is the highest. He explains about the other processes of yoga just to glorify bhakti by comparison. Most dear. Krishna emphasizes that Arjuna is qualified to hear this. What is the most important reason for Arjuna to be qualified to hear that? It's because he is yes, he's non-envious. It's very envy is very envy destroys everything. Envy destroys bhakti and envy destroys everything. But Krishna, he says that I am revealing all this knowledge because Arjuna has 2 very important qualities. First is Bhakta. He is Sakha. Listening in the mood of learning. Right? So bhakti or devotional service is one thing that Krishna asked for. In the whole Bhagavad Gita, he mentions that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead and you worship me. Very clear. Right? That's what we get. And he enjoys the bhakti performed by devotees. In fact, he thirsts for it. Therefore, he has mentioned a lot of details. What you should eat, what you should not, what you should behave, how you sit, how you walk. All these things he has given. Why? Because he loves. And this is something, love for himself in other jiva. It's not something he creates. He doesn't create love for himself in jiva. He enjoys that love a lot. But he does not interfere in the free will of independent person. But if an independent person develops the love, he serves Krishna with love and devotion, he relishes that the most. So, and then Krishna enjoys that most, and among the devotees, he holds in highest regard those devotees who explain this Bhagavad Gita to other devotees. Hari Bol! So please have a Bhagavad Gita, please read Bhagavad Gita, and please explain Bhagavad Gita to devotees. For one who explains this supreme secret to devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end, he will come back to me. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, 69 and 68 and 69. These are among the last verses of the chapter in Bhagavad Gita. So, now that we know that devotional service is very important, if you have in your mind certain devotees in the past who have performed bhakti and you would like to mention, please mention some devotees' name. It's very nice to hear that these are the devotees, these are the examples. Prahlad Maharaj, thank you very much. Shankeshwar Mataji. Yeah, it's very dear to us. Prahlad stories. So in present day, man is very eager to have one scripture, one God, one religion, and one occupation. So let there be one common scripture for the whole world, Bhagavad Gita. And there be one God only for the whole world, Sri Krishna. Said by Srila Prabhupada, this is mentioned in the introduction part of Bhagavad Gita. You can read that when you get a chance. So final conclusion is, the worshipable person mentioned in Bhagavad Gita is Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, is one, and we are supposed to worship him. Now there are different ways how to worship Krishna, right? Our acharyas, our Guru Parampara have mentioned that you can worship him because we all are different, we all have different flavors. So the beauty of our culture and our religion and our parampara is such that we have been given so many options. You choose what you would like to do, and out of that you select and you can progress, and each one leads to Krishna. So everyone has heard about Navda Bhakti, right? 9 processes of bhakti. Would you like to name? No, not all together, one by one. Because for the benefit of the audience and the listeners, if you say one by one, then they will be able to hear clearly. Please raise your hand. One. Shravanam, that comes first, yes. Thank you, Mataji Krishna Mataji. Keep the Smaran, thank you, Radha. Smaran. Yes, Aditi. Vandanam, Hari Bol. Thank you, Aditi. Yes, sir. Shani Radhika Mataji, Pada Sevanam. Thank you so much. So we are 4. We are 4. Archana, 5. Thank you. Madhuri Keshri Mataji. Dasyam. Thank you, Haripad Prabhu. We have 6 now. Sakya. 7. Thank you, Sarita Mataji. कितना थे? 7. Atmanivedan. 9. Archanam came. Vandanam. You said Vandanam? Aditi said Vandanam? Yeah, Aditi said Vandanam. Aditi said Vandanam, yes. So, no problem. You know how you got mixed one here and there? This is expected actually. That's why I am saying our parampara here on the altar, you can see it's not hidden. Our parampara Guru Devs have mentioned in a song form. Once you learn this song, you'll never forget it. The mistake will never happen. And let's go through that song. So I'll sing a couple of lines and you please repeat after me. It's on the screen. Okay? So then confusion will never happen again. Bhajahuri mana Shri Nandana Abharat Karanaya Vindhya Sing. Bhajahuri mana Shri Nandana Abharat Karanaya Durlabha Manava Janama Satsangye Durlabha So the point is in the fourth verse, Shravan Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pad Sevana Dasyare Pujana Sakhijana Atma Nivedana, and the writer is Govindas. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Acharya ki Jai. These are the 9 processes of bhakti. Please follow bhakti. Please perform bhakti. Stay in devotional service of the Lord. And may your this year and next year be auspicious. Haribol.
Nobody understands English.
English?
Yeah. What do they mean?
Smarana means listening. Shravana means listening. Kirtana means performing the kirtan. Smarana means remembering Krishna. Vandana means offering obeisances to Krishna. Pada Seva, prayers to Krishna. Pada Sevana means performing devotional service to Krishna. Pujan means offering to Krishna. Sakhi Jana means worshipping the
Translation.
Sakya form. Yes. Let me just start.
Read the translation.
Glories of chanting glories, constantly remembering Smaranam, offering prayers, serving Lord's lotus feet, Pada Sevana. And last is, not last, serving Him in the, serving Supreme Lord as a servant, worshipping Him with the flowers and incense and so forth, serving Him as a friend and completely offering the Lord one's very self. Hari Bol. I don't think there is time for question and answers, but if you have questions, please reach out to Madan Gopal Prabhu, Nirmani Prabhu, or any other senior devotees. Hari Bol!
Very nice class.